What's going on, everybody? Brad Cohen, Harman Realty, back for another real estate advice video. I've been reflecting a lot lately on a question that a lot of people have been asking me, and it's, are things slowing down in the Harrisonburg housing market? I actually just had this conversation this morning over breakfast at my Rotary Club meeting, so I figured it would be a great topic for a video. Stay tuned for my opinions. First, I'd like to comment that I think it's kind of humorous to get this question because it reflects a general apathy in the buyer market and also a general consensus, I would say, in the population that what we've been experiencing is not only not sustainable, but totally abnormal for the Harrisonburg market. This is unlike anything we've ever experienced before, and in my personal opinion, as I've said many a time, completely not sustainable for the long term. So, are things cooling down in the Harrisonburg housing market? In my opinion, no, not yet, and here's why. Through the date I'm recording this, prices are up nearly 10% year to date across our entire market. Our pace of sales is also up, our median days on market is still below a week, inventory remains low, and we have seen no slowdown in contracts signed, which is a huge leading indicator for the real estate market. Over the last few weeks, I've seen several articles circulating around about how the housing market is cooling. And while that is accurate in some of the major markets like California, New York, Boston, typically in Harrisonburg, we lagged by 12 to 18 months behind the major markets. So, why are we dealing with this? Why is the housing market cooling in other places, but not in the Harrisonburg market? I've got 4 ideas. First, interest rates rising has not affected buyer activity to this point. Traditionally, in theory, as interest rates rise, buying power decreases. That, coupled with the rapid increase in prices, creates an affordability issue. However, we really haven't seen that show up in our market yet because contract activity is still steady. Second, more people are moving to our area than are leaving our area, and those people still need houses. Think about it. For each person who moves in, we are net down one house. For each person who leaves, there is a buyer for that house, whether it's somebody who's already here or somebody who's moving to the area. So unless we start seeing a mass exodus from the Harrisonburg market, I don't think that's going to change. Third, new construction can't keep pace. People are currently signing contracts for houses that are not going to be completed for 6 to 8 months. And if you're doing a new build from the ground up, like custom, it could be over a year to get through your construction process. I've heard several stories of people going through the building process right now, and it's just a mess with how long it's taking. Labor's an issue, supplies are an issue, and while there may be some indication that those things are starting to stabilize, it's still going to be probably another quarter or two before we see those things catch up to the pace of demand. Fourth, and this one's entirely anecdotally and not supported by any actual empirical evidence, but I think there's a lot of would-be sellers out there who are not purchasing now and not selling now because of their decreased buying power. I've heard people say, oh man, if I'd have just listed last spring, I could have bought a new house at an interest rate of 3% and locked it in. And if that's what's going through people's heads and they're relatively comfortable in their current homes, it's unlikely that now with increased interest rates, they would consider going ahead and selling. In summary, it doesn't look like things are slowing down in the Harrisonburg housing market. While the major markets may be experiencing a cooling sensation, we aren't really seeing it right now. The data doesn't support it. There's a lot more people moving to the area. We still have a supply and demand issue. And interest rates have not really affected us up to this point. So, in my opinion, you've got nothing to worry about for the summer market in Harrisonburg. You may still see that typical ebb and flow that comes with vacation season, but it looks like it's going to be a very, very hot market through the remainder of the year. If you have any questions about what's going on in the market, I'm always here to help. Please feel free to give me a call, email, or hit me up in the comments. Talk to you soon.